Hi everyone! So welcome to your headstand tutorial for beginners. You will need 2 blocks and this is meant for you to do as a whole practice maybe on your own. We're just going to warm up a little bit on the shoulders and the core. So you find those places of your body you need to awake for going into your headstand. So start lying on your back. We'll work on the core a little bit first. And hug your knees into your chest for a moment there. Just give them a squeeze. And then just right away, plant your hands next to your hips and make sure your low back is pressed up against the ground. And go ahead and straighten your left leg out and your right knee bent. So I want you to imagine your left leg is pushing a wall in front of you. So you're really activated and your right knee is really pulling in towards your chest. So you get that core awareness there. And just pause there for a few moments and try to relax the neck and the shoulders. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, switch sides. Right leg out and left knee in towards your chest. And aim your tailbone towards your right heel and flex both feet strongly. And again, pause there for a moment and just feel into your core. And we're gonna move between these two on the breath. So on your inhale, switch. And on your exhale, arrive to the other side. So you consolidate that other side. Inhaling as we switch. And exhaling as you arrive onto the other side. And just keep going there. Maybe the hands can be used underneath your sacrum for extra support. And you should already be feeling something by now. And imagine you're kicking your face with your bent knee and pushing that wall with the left leg straight. One more on each side. And then hug it in. Just rock a little bit side to side. And notice if you're clenching your teeth or tensing your jaw or the neck, and try to relax. And grab your 2 blocks. We're gonna grab one block on its thinnest level in between your inner edges of your feet, and the other one in between your knees, or more or less the upper thighs there. And give the blocks a squeeze, flex your feet, and cinch in all around your waist. Imagine you wanna bring the frontal hip bones together towards the midline and wrap your spine with your belly. And then take your hands above head. On the inhale, we're gonna straighten the legs forward, but make sure your low back doesn't lift so much off the ground. And on the exhale, crunch it in and curl your upper body to tap your knees to your triceps or your elbows there. On the inhale, extend, low back stays flat, tailbone towards your heels. Exhale and crunch. And just take 2 more like this. Inhale and extend. Squeeze the blocks. Exhale and round. And the last one with the breath. Inhale, lengthen and relax the neck. And exhale to round and crunch. Hold it here for 5. Look at your thumbs. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then release. Take the blocks out of the way. And just rock on up to a seat, plant your hands, and step back to tabletop. So just to release the spine and lengthen the core, few cycles of cat-cow. On your inhale, arch your spine, stick your sitting bones out, lift your head. Exhale and round, push the floor away, head down and pelvis forward. Inhale to arch the spine. Exhale to round. 2 more, inhaling, arch, drop the belly, melt the chest. Exhale and round, push the floor away. Last one, inhale, arch, and exhale, round. Now pay attention here, come back to neutral. This means you're not sassing your buns like that. You're also not tucking the tailbone. Somewhere in between, belly back towards the spine. And make sure hands are shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart. And we're just gonna leave from the waistline down as it is, and move the rib cage. So on the inhale, just push the floor away so your upper back broadens. And on the exhale, melt the chest between your shoulders so your shoulder blades come together behind you. Inhale, you push the floor. Exhale and melt the chest. 2 more. Inhale, push the floor away. Shoulder blades separate behind your back. Exhale, shoulder blades together. Last one. Inhale, push, protraction. And on the exhale, retraction. And then Come back to tabletop and grab your block again. We're gonna set the block more or less a hand's distance behind your hands and in between your hands. Then look forward, start tilting your weight back and bending your elbows, and then grab the block. Like you're gonna pick it up, squeeze the elbows in and grab the block. Tuck your toes and start lifting the hips. Keep your gaze neutral towards your thumbs. Belly back towards the spine. Drop the head, relax the neck. And you should be feeling something on your ribs and core now, on the shoulders as well. Another breath. And then slowly drop the block and straighten back, downward facing dog. And you can paddle out the knees a little. Just get cozy in your down dog. On your inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, scoot forward, shoulders over wrist. Tap your knee to your tricep. Inhale, sweep it up and back. Exhale, tap your right knee to your left tricep. Take it across your body. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down the midline. Try to kiss your knee or tap your forehead. Inhale, sweep it up and back. And then exhale, set the right foot down. Second side, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left knee towards your left tricep. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, take it across your body to the right. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to forehead or try to kiss it. And then inhale, extend back. Exhale, release. Set the knees down. Set the block a little bit forward. And we're gonna come into dolphin just for the last part of shoulder warm-up and awareness. So drop onto your forearms and have the block on the bottom of the forearm and your elbows. Plant all the side of the bottom of the forearm down and spread your fingers. And then squeeze the block. And I want you to push the foot away with the elbows like we did in tabletop, so your upper back broadens. So push the foot away. Then shrug the shoulders just for contrast, and then bring them back like a turtle that it's coming out of the shell. So squeeze the block, push the floor, and shoulder heads back. Tuck the toes and press back, dolphin pose. Relax the head. Maybe you need to bend the knees a little so you can feel the belly engage and give your hamstrings a break. Take a deep inhale. Maybe straighten the knees a little. And you can stay here for a couple of breaths, maybe 3, 5, 7 breaths, just to work up on the strength you need for the headstand. Take an inhale and lift the right leg up. And push back through the right heel. Inhale. Exhale, set the right foot down. On your inhale, left leg up. You can rest your forehead on the block, just like I'm doing. And then exhale, set it back down. Plant your knees down. And take a brief child's pose. Come back to your breath. And then roll on up onto a seat. Okay. All right, so for the headstand, 3 rules. First of all, don't go up if you don't feel absolutely confident about it. Rule number 2, try to avoid momentum. That means don't kick up into your headstand. And rule number 3, try to not use the wall. So we're gonna build a foundation and just engage the muscles we need to build a strong foundation. And there are 2 things you need to explore today. The first one is which part of your head goes on the ground. That tends to be the trickiest part. And number 2, how your shoulders are going to support you for the headstand. So what we need to do is to basically align the axis of your spine with the vertical line of gravity. So just as when you walk, your spine is not doing any effort, you're just aligned with the vertical line. And for that, we need to plant that exact top of the head that is now aiming towards the sky on the ground. To find that spot, please take the heel of your hand and put it in between your eyebrows. And then reach with your middle finger the furthest point you can reach. And then find that spot. It's like what it used to be the soft spot as a baby. That's the very crown of your head. So that's where you're gonna plant. So give it a few taps maybe so you wake it up. It's there. And then the second part, it's your foundation. So come onto your hands and knees and then plant your elbows down. And first we measure the distance we want to have between the elbows because they normally tend to splay out and we fall. So grab a good grip with your hands. So you need to have a good grip of your arms, and that's the distance between your shoulders. Then interlace the hands and hide that pinky finger in that little house. Plant the whole side of the forearm. This is just the shape of your arms. Then the muscles, like we did in dolphin, instead of shrugging the shoulders, bring them back away towards your heels. Then you're gonna push the floor away with your elbows, and then imagine the block is there between your elbows and try to squeeze them in so you activate the chest muscles. And then plant the side of the top of your head and just find that spot. And I'm gonna show you from the side again. So come back, measure the distance, interlace the hands, hide your pinky finger, then shoulder heads back, push the floor and squeeze the elbows in, tuck your head and plant the head, and then tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back and walk it in. So this is the first stage. You may stay here and this might be your whole practice today, but this is going to help you work on the strength. So again, maybe knees bend a little and you can walk it in a little bit more. Stay for another long breath and then slowly come back down. So this might be the practice you have today. You can come back to that short little dolphin and just work on the strength. And if you want to continue, I'll take you through the second series of steps. There are basically 2 entries into your headstand. If you have very open hamstrings, there's 1 entry, and if you don't, you need to use more the core. So for people with open hamstrings, it normally goes like this. You walk it in until your hips pass the line of your shoulders. See, my hips are beyond my shoulders there, so my legs are floating effortlessly, and then I can come on up. Whereas if I have tight hamstrings, then I cannot go further, so I need to maybe bend 1 knee and then use my core and the other foot to kick, and then you come into a little tuck and then you can extend. Okay, but let's do it together. So come back, hands and knees, shoulder width, measure your distance, interlace and plant, shoulders back, push the floor away, tuck your head, and then float your knees and walk it in. So next step, entry 1 or number 2, maybe you just walk it in and float, and then come on up. If you are upside down already or not, just know that you can work on the strength and repeat any of the steps along the way, and then lower back down. Once you lower down, take a child's pose, hands behind you, head in, and then slowly hands below your chest and push yourself upright into a seat. And again, you can practice either step of the way, and I recommend staying for at least 5 breaths. If you get a little bit fatigued, have a break in child's pose and then repeat it 2 or 3 more times, and then you'll build up the strength, find the comfort in the right place of your head, and also find that your shoulders are a stronger foundation. So take a Shavasana on your own if you needed to right now, and thanks for joining. Namaste.